What works best is a female who's more submissive.
Do you want to say that? Am I submissive?
Yeah, 100%.
What?
Yeah. Why do you think so many guys like you?
Why do you think that about me? I'm not a
It's
boss.
not a bad thing.
I am a boss. I'm not putting this in the video.
No.
Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to Look Into My Life. My name is Angela and today I'm here with a special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet y'all.
Basically, I'm just going to explain the topic to you, right? Okay, so I'm doing this series right now and it's about classy femininity and we're talking about dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to have you on to basically ask questions and get answers from a man's perspective. So that's what we're going to be doing, okay? Okay, question number one would be, what advice can you give women about securing a man, like in the dating phase? Like they're just dating and there's no title yet.
So is this the stage where they're dating other people?
Yeah.
To be honest, the guy has to secure you.
Wait, so what can the woman do? Dating etiquette for feminine women. Obviously, she's not going to be pursuing the man, right? So this is what I want from your perspective.
So some tricks, basically the secrets?
What would you want to see? Yeah.
Okay, so the secrets are, the women that do the best are the ones that know how to communicate effectively. So there's ways to communicate with a man where you can make him feel like wanted, and that's what you did.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I do that?
It says very nice. It feels nice to hear from you, and I was like, oh.
Oh, really?
It was. And I was like, oh, you have my attention. Because when you make someone feel nice like that, they'll remember it. So you have to say something that makes them feel wanted, makes them feel appreciated.
Yeah, I just find it interesting that what made you feel wanted was basically me telling you how you're making me feel.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like you're not trying to like flatter the person, right? You're just trying to be genuine. And this is where it's tricky, because sometimes like you have to be genuine, and sometimes people try to force it, but you can't force it. This comes across as inauthentic. Like if you really like someone, just be genuine, authentic, being truthful with the person you're trying to date.
Truthful about what?
State your intentions. I think setting the tone, so we're setting the intention and communicating that is the most important thing early on, just so that other person has no misconceptions and that they have their own lives too. So it's good to know, to be on the same page. That's number one. Yeah,
so like what would be important, like what's important for you in that stage? Like, okay, this is something that I want to move forward with.
Communicate often.
And when you mean communicate often, a lot of the times it's going to be the guy reaching out, right? So he's going to be calling, he's going to be doing the texting, right?
Yeah.
Or is it? So how can the woman display that she's like open to that? Like what would make you even want to say, I'm going to call her?
Like I guess for you it was, that in the initial stages it was like how you made me feel, right? And then I felt more motivated to call you back. And that was based on your communication.
Was it because I was like receptive? Like receiving it warmly?
You're a good listener too, right? When you're a good listener, that's huge. And then of course, being yourself. Yeah.
That's cute.
I see a lot on social media these days, a lot of unfortunate situations. Thankfully, that's not the norm. People are generally truthful. I'd say that is a good first step. And after that, and only after that, can you move on to the next step, which in my opinion would be, is this person compatible with me in terms of beliefs?
Yeah, so like just being yourself, like being genuine. Basically.
Yeah, like sometimes you don't want to disagree with someone because you like them, and I think that part is important to remember. Because if you don't disagree when you need to disagree, it's not genuine. That helps set boundaries. It also helps to establish connection.
Okay, so what would your view be on just like the dynamics between men and women, like the feminine. What's your view on femininity?
Yeah, it's a great question. And most people on social media these days have been exposed to, I think, the polar opposite, the polar ends of what people think femininity and masculinity are. I think the female does play a role. It's a more emotional, sensitive role. And so the man provides more of the provider role. It's instinctual, it's like a biological. And of course the man has to provide leadership, typically structure, and those are the main characteristics of the masculine. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, based on what I've seen and researched. For the feminine, it's more caring, nurturing. Typically you see that in like a childbearing role, like you're taking care of the kids.
Yeah, so I like what you said about the whole thing about, okay, the man is providing leadership. Mm-hmm. In the relationship, because I think it makes sense in the dating phase. I think the man kind of leads the direction of the relationship.
100%, yeah. So? Yeah, if the man's not leading, like, that's not ideal, unfortunately. And a lot of guys don't know how to, or they're not confident.
Yeah, and then with the woman, I think she leads like a certain aspect of it, like maybe how deep it goes emotionally, the emotional side. Do you think?
Yeah, I feel like the woman has to be vulnerable, 100%.
Yeah, so if she's vulnerable and she opens up first, like, does that inspire the man to open up more?
Yeah, it's attractive. If the woman is vulnerable, it's attractive. So the best combination for a female is like vulnerable and strong.
Yeah.
So able to set boundaries, able to knows what she wants, at the same time can be vulnerable.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's like she's confident who she is, like she has her boundaries, and it's like, this is what my standards are.
Yeah.
And then at the same time she's vulnerable enough to like show her feelings.
Yeah.
Because I think that takes confidence, right?
It does. Yeah.
The next question would be, how can a woman inspire masculinity in a man, like in those early stages? I think maybe nowadays the lines are a little bit blurred, so like maybe sometimes guys don't know if they can make the move. What do you think about that?
So to be honest, in my experience, guys should and can make the move every time.
Every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, a woman will find that attractive. I feel like one issue with men is that they're very hard on themselves. Because they're hard on themselves, they need the support of a female. So if a woman is supportive, that inspires a man. It's primarily emotional support.
Oh, okay.
Like, men tend to lack that. We don't really prioritize our emotional well-being. I barely know anyone who does, and it's typically requires a lot of self-development to acknowledge it. And it's not a priority for most males, to be honest. So that's where the female and the male interaction is important, because the females, their nature is emotional, right? So providing that to the male helps to sustain the relationship and helps to give that man energy. I'm
just kind of anticipating the questions that would come from this video, right? So basically, how would that support be shown in those like early stages? Like, I also wanted to know, like, if the man's like really busy and because I know like you're really busy and your schedule's really hectic, so like how should women go about dating a guy in that situation? Don't take things personally if he doesn't respond how you want him to, because it's likely his mind is elsewhere a good portion of the time. Yeah, don't take it personally. Okay. And typically guys like that are quite direct, and it comes across as cold, but they're not trying to be cold. Like, it's just like how they communicate on a regular basis. So sometimes it might bleed over into how they talk to you. So never take it personally, right? That's one thing to know. I think it's probably happened to you a lot. What? Yeah. But also another thing you can do. So if you communicate, the main thing is communicating to the guy, right? How you feel. And it takes a lot of vulnerability, because there's a chance that he might not feel the same way. Yeah, and that's why that takes confidence too, because in my last video, if you watched it, it's going to be linked down in the description. Like, I was talking a lot about like just being confident and then having the self-love to be like, okay, if this person doesn't want to commit to me, I'm still okay, like, I'm fine, right? Yeah. So yeah, and it's uncommon, to be honest, for women to admit that, or guys. To admit what? That they really like someone. Really? Yeah. How is that uncommon? Because there's some pride involved. Well, that's, yeah, I guess, but I don't really like the games in dating. Like, so is there like a classier way to go about this? And this is why I
Confidence.
brought you here, right?
Yeah. So this confidence, and it's challenging because like you do risk rejection.
And I think more likely than not, the man is gonna probably be pushing things along.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think?
I agree. I think the man should.
Like, what do you look for in those early stages? I'm talking about you, but I'm
Yeah.
also talking about like you're like busy, right?
Yeah.
And then you're also really focused on your business. Guys like you that are high achievers, like just busy and things like that. So
Yeah. So typically, first instinct is to go for boss babes because they're similar. They were similar to myself, and I found that part attractive. However, not the best fit because there's a personality that's attached to that. What works best is a female who's more submissive.
do you want to say that? Am I submissive?
Yeah, 100%.
What?
Yeah. Why do you think so many guys like you?
Why do you think that about me? I'm not a
It's
boss.
not a bad
I
thing.
am a boss. I'm not putting this in the video.
No. The personality type of a boss is like a woman who's like assertive.
What I will say is like you can be you if you're that type of woman. Like you can be yourself, but when you're interacting with a guy, like don't lead with that part of yourself. If that makes sense. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, the femininity part needs to be there. So like for example, I know a lot of boss babes, and they lead with like the typical attitude that they have, which is this like I'm in control, and like guys don't like that.
Oh.
At least like me, I don't like that. It's like I kind of want to be in control. So I've dated those kinds of women, and it was always a clash. Those type of women typically attract beta males. FYI. Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm just really taking in everything you're saying.
Or B types, not
Oh.
A types.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? You can say whatever. Just add it. Really?
Yeah.
You want that in the video?
Don't have to. But I guess the last thing would be never, I guess, lose sight of your own goals. Like have your own perspective and don't try and people please.
Those are things that you look for in the dating stages and you've seen that other guys look for in those early stages. And
Yeah, it's how you talk to him and how you look at him and how you communicate. And of course, like the support, right, and listening.
I think that's all, right?
Yeah.
So that's all for this video. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on my channel. I've never had anyone on my channel. You're the first guest.
I'm the first.
Well, you're the first like non-family member I've had on my channel. Yeah.
Wow, I feel honored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming on my channel. You're so cute. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. It's great for the channel, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video.